Today, my group, which consists of Umi, Tinesh, and myself, Theodora, will be explaining about a water treatment process, which is the softening of water. Before we start, let me define what is softening. Softening is the removal of hardness in water. Softening is needed when the hardness of water is above 150 to 200 milligrams per liter. Hardness that's in the range of 50 to 80 milligrams per liter is acceptable in treated water. Now, let us proceed to the first example.
So hi, I'm Umi. I'll be presenting the first question first. So the question is, from the results of the water analysis presented below, determine the amount of lime and soda in milligram per liter as calcium carbonate necessary to soften the water to 60 milligram per liter hardness as calcium carbonate. So here we have the results. So first of all, as for the first step, we have to do the bar diagram. So we do the carbon dioxide first, we label it first. So there's 20 milligram per liter. And then we move on the positive ions, which we consist of calcium, magnesium, and sodium. So for calcium, we have 170 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. And then we'll move on with the magnesium, where we have 85 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So we just add up with the previous value, which is 170, and we will get 255. And then lastly, we will have sodium for the positive ion. Sodium is listed as 40 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. Again, we just add up with the previous value, and we will get 295 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So here, for the negative ions, we have bicarbonate with the result shown that 280 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. And then we have sulfate, where it is listed as 20 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So we just add up again, and we will get 300. And then there's also chloride, where it is listed as 15 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate, and then we just add up with the previous value, and we will get 315 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So to find the total hardness, we just have to add up the calcium and also the magnesium. We will get 170 plus by 85 with the result of 255 magnesium per liter as calcium carbonate. So we can just directly plug from this result from the bar diagram. It would ease the job. So there's also, we have to find the carbonate hardness, which consists of bicarbonate value, which is 280. But since the value of carbonate hardness is more than the total carbonate hardness, we will just have to take 255 as our carbonate hardness. So this one cancel out, and we will get 255 mgl as CaCO3. So since the carbonate hardness is more than the total hardness itself, the non-carbonate hardness is said to be, say, 0 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So I'll pass the floor to my next colleague, which is Theodora.
Thank you, Umi. Hi, I'm Theodora. So I'll be continuing from the first explanation. First of all, lime is added into carbon dioxide to destroy the carbonic acid in water, and it is given as 20 milligrams per liter as calcium carbonate. Next, lime is added into the bicarbonate to raise the pH of the water, and it is given as 280 milligrams per liter. For the magnesium, in this question, it is given as 85 milligrams per liter. However, the maximum amount of magnesium that needed to be removed is 40. Hence, it will be 45 milligrams per liter as calcium carbonate. Lastly is the lime excess, which is given as 20 milligrams per liter. So, the total required lime to soften the water equals to 365 milligrams per liter as calcium carbonate. So now, I will pass the floor to Dinesh to explain further. Thank you.
Thank you, Theodora, and hello everyone. Now I'll be explaining about the amount of soda necessary to soften the water for this question. So, as Umi had mentioned earlier, the non-carbonate hardness for this question is 0. Why is it 0? Because the carbonate hardness is higher than the total hardness, where the total hardness becomes the carbonate hardness. Therefore, the non-carbonate hardness will be 0. And since there is no non-carbonate hardness for this question, there will be no soda necessary to soften the water.
So moving on to example number 2, the question is the same as previous questions. The only difference is the concentration for the constituents. So first we have to draw the bar diagram. So we have to list out the carbon dioxide first, where the value is 30 milligram per liter. And then there will be the non-carbonate hardness, where listed first is 120 milligram per liter, followed by magnesium, which is 95 milligram per liter. So you just have to add up with 120, the previous value, and you'll get 250 milligram per liter. And next you'll get the sodium with 70 milligram per liter. So again, you have to plus with the previous value and you'll get the 232 milligram per liter. So moving on with the carbonate hardness, you have to list out the first one, which is bicarbonate. So the value is 150 milligram per liter, followed with sulfate, where you have 60 milligram per liter. So you just have to add up with the previous value as well, and you'll get 175 milligram per liter. And then there's chloride with the value of 40 milligram per liter. Again, you have to add up and you'll get 215 milligram per liter. So to calculate the total hardness, you just have to add up the calcium and also the magnesium value, and you'll get 250 milligram per liter as CaCO3, because the value here is already in that unit. And you also can just directly take the value from here, because it's also the value of the additions of calcium and also magnesium. So to calculate the carbonate hardness, you just have to take the carbonate value, which is 115 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So to get the non-carbonate hardness, you have to take total hardness minus non-carbonate hardness, which is 215 minus by 115, and you'll get 100 milligram per liter as calcium carbonate. So I'll let Theodora to continue with the second step.
Okay, thank you, Umi. Moving on to the process limitations, lime soda softening cannot produce a water completely free of hardness because of the solubility of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. Second, the physical limitations of mixing and contact. And the last one is the lack of sufficient time for reactions to go completion. Okay, for the chemical addition, lime is added into the carbon dioxide to destroy the carbonic acid in the water, and it is given as 30 milligrams per liter as calcium carbonate. Next, lime is added into the bicarbonate to raise the pH of the water, and it is given as 115 milligrams per liter. For the magnesium, it is given as 95 milligrams per liter, but the maximum amount of magnesium that needed to be removed is 40. Hence, 95 minus 40, it will be 55 milligrams per liter. And the last one is the excess lime, which is given as 20 milligrams per liter. So the total lime required to soften the water is 220 milligrams per liter as calcium carbonate. So now the last part will be done by Tinesh. Thank you.
Good job, Dinesh.
Okay, moving on to the soda part of the question, where we will be finding how much soda is necessary to soften the water. So to find how much soda is necessary to soften the water, we will be needing to know how much non-carbonate hardness is needed to be removed from the water. So as for the non-carbonate hardness needed to be removed, we will find the non-carbonate hardness left, which is equals to the final hardness minus carbonate hardness left due to limitations. So the final hardness, as we can see from the question, is 60 milligrams per liter, and the carbonate hardness left due limitations will be 40 milligrams per liter. And now we will find the non-carbonate hardness final, which is 60 minus 40 milligrams per liter, which is 20 milligrams per liter. As for the non-carbonate hardness removed, it's equals to non-carbonate hardness initial minus non-carbonate hardness left. As for the non-carbonate hardness initial, as Umi has calculated before, it's 100 milligrams per liter, and as I have calculated before, the non-carbonate hardness left is 60 minus 40, which is 20 milligrams per liter. And the non-carbonate hardness required will be 80 milligrams per liter, which is the value of soda needed to soften the water.